Today we have Robert Bobby Carvalho to give the message of Aloha. Councilmember Elefante, would you like to introduce your guest?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The message of Aloha will be shared by Robert Bobby Carvalho. He is a retired Honolulu police officer with 30 years of service and is currently employed by the National Football League as their security representative in the state of Hawaii. Robert has been a Toastmaster for the last 20 years and is a professional speaker covering such topics as leadership and conflict management. Here with our message of Aloha, please give a warm welcome to Robert.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Elefante. Thank you for that warm welcome, but actually, it is I that should be applauding for all of you for stepping up. Leaders don't try to be first, they're the first to try. And you're the ones who said, I'll do that. And you stepped up and you raised your hand and your constituents voted for you, and now you sit in those seats representing them. You are their voice. So really it is I that should applaud you and thank you for sharing your leadership. As for me, I never wanted to be a leader. I grew up in the 60s watching that television series Lost in Space. Some of you are too young to remember that. But it was really the precursor for Star Trek. And it centered around the Robinson family, and each episode they would arrive on a new new planet and discover a new life form. And every time they met the alien, the demand was always the same. Take me to your leader. And as a young kid, I thought that was pretty scary. And I said to myself, I never want to be the leader. And then I grew up and I heard about that story about the Titanic and that tragic maiden voyage, and the captain went down with the ship. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, isn't the captain the leader? 30 years of law enforcement, and I was able to avoid a leadership position until I was promoted to the rank of lieutenant. And I had to discover leadership overnight, and I didn't have a clue. So I studied leadership, I read about leadership, and everything I've gleaned really comes down to one action. If you want to be a successful leader, all you have to do is love. That's all you have to do. And who should you love? Well, the good book tells us that we should love everyone. But nowhere in the good book does it say we have to like them. So love everyone, but you don't have to like them. So wait a minute, Robert, you're telling us that we have to love people we don't like? Exactly. Now, hear me out on this. Don't get lost, all right? When you like someone, you spend time with them. You go and have a mani and a pedi, or you go to the movies. You don't have to do those things with people you don't like, but you have to love them. And what does love look like? Well, it says it right in the good book. It says that love is patient, love is kind, love does not envy, love does not boast, love is not proud, love does not dishonor others, love is not self-seeking, love is not easily angered, love keeps no record of wrongs, love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. Love always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. Can you be kind to somebody or patient with somebody that you don't like? Sure. Can you forgive someone you don't like? Maybe a little bit more difficult, but you can do it. When you treat others in this way, you are demonstrating your love for them, even if you don't like them. Now it's time for a test. Don't worry, this is a take-home test. We're not going to grade it in class. Each of you should have a little card at your desk, and on it is the verse that I just read, and the word love is omitted, and there's a blank space in there. When you return to your office, what I'd like you to do is write in your first name on that card, and then read it back to yourself using your name without cringing. This is going to be a little bit easier for some than others. And then when you've done that, I want you to take this card and place it somewhere in your life where you're going to see it on a daily basis, maybe on your bathroom mirror or on your refrigerator door. For me, I have it on my nameplate at my desk. so that when someone is in my office, I'm reminded that I have to love them. I don't have to like them, but I gotta love them. And you know who in your life you have to love the most? You guessed it. It's you. And I don't mean that in a vain way, but I'm just saying be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Hey, forgive yourself. If you can love others the way you love yourself, you can rule the world. So your message of aloha is very simple today. Love everyone. You don't have to like them, but you gotta love them. Mr. Chair.
That was fantastic. By the way, Mr. Cavallo, I love you. I think I like you too. Thank you, members.